Facebook Friday, which is Futbol Friday, as we get you set for Lexington Sporting Club soccer. It is tomorrow night. It will be at Georgetown's Toyota Stadium, 7 o'clock, as Union Omaha comes to town. First time that we have seen them in this inaugural season. The tailgate begins at 5. The gates open at 5:30. First touch is at 7. You can get your tickets at lexsporting.com tickets. Nico Brown and Cesar Murillo Jr. here with us. Been a little tough sledding since the last time that we've seen you. How much, I hear luck a lot, and certainly that's part of it. How much is it that it's just a process that a young team is going through as well? Is that part of it or not?
Yeah, I think it's part of the ebbs and flows of like an inaugural season of a new club, and I think we're going to turn it around soon. I think we had a 5-game unbeaten streak, and we had a lot of good performances so far, and I think every game we're in the match and we sometimes, for the most part, outperform other teams. We just need to get whatever's going on in either box under control, and then we'll be totally fine.
Cesar, it seems like there have been some really weird things that have happened. You guys have obviously seen much more of this than I have, but there was a game early on, I want to say it was Richmond or something, and all of a sudden there were like 2 or 3 goals in a span of like about a minute and a half or something, and then the last match, you guys gave up 2 when you were up a man, right? I mean, those things just don't happen all the time, and you've just got to deal with them, right?
Yeah, it was a tough blow. At the end of the day, everyone was disappointed. We needed to come around with 3 points, but like you said, it's just one of those things where you can't really explain it. It just happens so quick, and you turn around and it's just kind of like either you go down the rabbit hole or you get back up with each other, and I believe in our team we're going to get back together. So.
I agree. I love the rabbit hole analogy too. I'm a big anti-rabbit hole guy. How does it affect you guys though? Because I didn't see the roster last week, but I know a couple of different times, or maybe it was last week, that Stock had like 6 new starters or something like that, and you're just trying to shake things up and make something happen, and at the same time try to keep your own confidence up. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're going through a drought, you kind of look for a winning formula and stuff, and we back the coaching staff completely, and I think that we know we have a next man up mentality in our locker room, and I think that everyone in our locker room, all 22, 23 players are ready to play and perform, so I think that we always put out a strong team, and it's not really down to the individuals, kind of down to the collective and how we work together.
How I guess, Cesar, what would you say has kind of been the area that you guys have lacked in the last few? Again, I'm just a novice, but last time I saw you live, it seems like sometimes you guys are susceptible because you press up so much to the counter, and I don't know if that has been part of it, or how have you adjusted style of play as you've tried to get through this patch?
Yeah, I think when we were in our run, I think we held a strong mid block, and we were all together, and everyone was focused the whole 90. I think it's just coming down to even milliseconds, seconds of turning off, or it just comes down to, like I said, just a second of being off, and that's when we get punished. And at this game, and even at the higher levels, you turn off for 1 second, you're going to get punished. So.
And Nico, that sounds like one of those coach speak things, but I mean it's really true, and it's part of learning to be a professional at different levels you guys have played at. You may have been able to take a breath or a pause for a little bit and not hurt you, but not at this level. Yeah,
definitely not. I think each team has very dangerous attackers, very dangerous or strong, stout defenders, and I think that at any point, whether it be a set piece, a counterattack, or just in the run of play, a good run or a good finish, like we really can't switch off. And I think it's been an adjustment for some players, and I think other veteran type players have been trying to tell people in the locker room, and I think we're all kind of coming to the realization like what this league is and what we are doing and what we need to do to be able to make a playoff push.
Sure. Cesar, in terms of how this thing goes from week to week, I know you're not only trying to get things going on the field, but off the field. We talked a little bit earlier about the Spanish initiative. I know you guys have had some meet and greets with the fans. What kind of response have you gotten? Everybody I've heard has just been tremendously positive, even though you'd like to get 3 every week. I mean, they're committed to what you guys are doing and to this club.
Yeah, we communicate with them, we talk to them, we go to the meet and greets, and they're supportive. And I think that goes back to when we present ourselves on the field, and you can see that we're we're fighting until the last very end, especially against the Charlotte game when we were down.
Sure.
When we were down a couple goals, and everyone still kind of believed that we were going to come back and win. And I think that kind of shows the fans that we're here to the end, and we're not going to let go. We're not going to let down.
And Nico, that's the deal too. It's not like, the effort hasn't been there, the intensity hadn't been there. I mean, it's just some weird things have happened.
Yeah, I think that's what shows through well to the fans. I think it's apparent that we have very high effort on the field and we give it our all, and then sometimes fortune's just not on your side, but I know that fortune will be on our side in the future, and I know that the team is putting in the work every single day. So, I mean, I know we're going to turn it around. It's just a matter of time, and hopefully it's this weekend against Union Omaha.
Yeah, sure. So let's talk about that, Cesar. I know that, like in practice, you go against the same guys every day. Mm-hmm. You're going to know what Nico is going to do in a certain situation. I think, if I'm right, that you played some of those teams either 3 or 4 times in the first half of the season, and so was there some of that familiarity? And from that standpoint, is it good to be going up against somebody you haven't seen in Union Omaha?
Yeah, I think it's definitely good. It's a new team, and it's kind of like we could go out there and just play our game, and not really having to worry if they're going to change it up or if they're going to play the way they played the first game or the third game or the second. It's, you know what, we're going to be focused on us, and at the end of the day, if someone has questions about individuals and their skill sets, we have all the resources to be looking them up on video and see what their tendencies tend to be. So I think we're really in a good position to be set up for success.
Sure. And Nico, we've talked about this before. You talk about being professional and all that stuff and everything, but you guys are human, right? You're young humans, and so I think it's just critical to get a big crowd out there on Saturday night, because you guys really feed off that.
Definitely. I think me being on the younger side and a lot of the locker room being on the
Does that mean Cesar's not?
I'm old.
Is that what you said? I believe I just heard you say.
I took it back. You like, nah.
Yeah, but I think a lot of us are on the younger side, and we just feed off of the energy of the crowd. And
Sure.
I think when we look into the stands and we see people fully supporting us and everything like that, that is undeniably our biggest kind of push to go forward and try to win the game. And I think that helps out so much. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get a big crowd out there on Saturday night. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock against Union Omaha as they come to Georgetown College's Toyota Stadium for the first time. The tailgate begins at 5. The gates open at 5:30. Kickoff is at 7. You go to lexsporting.com tickets. You get them through that SeatGeek app. You don't have to worry about passing tickets around and everything. You can get some for your friends and just send them. And it's a really great atmosphere. For those of you who've been out there since game 1, we want you to be out there again. And for those of you who've never come out, it is supposed to be the best day of the weekend this Saturday. Get out to Georgetown College and let's cheer the lads on against Union Omaha. Fellas, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you next time on Futbol Friday.